Hello everyone, my name is Dan Dominici. I hope you're doing great. Today I'm here because Tommy invited me to show my website. But before that, let me introduce myself very briefly. I'm a music producer. I took the Making Music for Brands course back in 2022. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I was so inspired to make my website actually. I'm also a web developer, so I have that nerd part. But I don't think this video will be about my website. It's gonna be more about the whole strategy building the website, not really technical stuff, more like the whole idea behind this, because this hopefully will help you to come up with your own voice, your own ideas. And I wouldn't say you need to do this exact same thing, but I think it's a good case study and see behind the scenes, because it's very simple, but it took a lot of actually planning. So I want to say thank you, Tommy, for having me here. It's such an honor. The reason I'm here is because I sent my website to Tommy a couple of weeks ago and he loved it. And he was like, hey, this is really cool. Would you mind doing a video, sharing some more details about it and how you came, how you made this happen? So I was like, yes, for sure. So I'm super, super excited to be here today. This is absolutely amazing. And yeah, let's watch the video that I have going on right here. So then we can start talking about the whole idea. Okay, let's go. Hello from Valencia. My name is Dan Dominici. I'm a music composer for film, TV, and advertisement. Welcome to my Rio and my car. Let's hear some music. I specialize in rock, pop, and dance music, and genres around those neighborhoods. I always like to come up with new genres and make music that is unique to each project. Making music should be fun, like this remix I made out of the noises on this reel. So, long story short, I make music that makes your neighbor's dog howl in harmony. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll leave you with this view and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye. Alright, so you just watched the video. I hope you liked it. This is a recreation. I unfortunately don't have the exact same documents that I wrote when I was planning this, but it was something like this. I don't remember exactly, but it was something like this. And I want to make this available. I don't know if this is any useful, but if it is, you can use it to yourself and you can just take this template in Notion and make it your own and just like start editing and see how you can plan your own website. The elevator pitch, creating a website that stands out, turning the weakness of not having an actual portfolio into something fun and unique through a fun video reel that shows my personality and my music while keeping it engaging. Yeah, so it's exactly that. I was so scared of sharing my website with someone and just them, clicking away or being like, just scrubbing through a long audio file and just scrubbing around.
It's gotta hurt.
So I was very, very worried about that part. I was like, I want to make that impact. How can I take this to the next level? Let's actually see what happens. So bring attention to my email signature. So how is this gonna work? Bring attention to my email signature, or by actually sharing the link to my website. The video needs to do all the heavy lifting of making a complete stranger feel they know me after watching it. When you send an email, you're just like a piece of screen, a piece of paper, right? It's like, hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. I love what you're doing with your agency, and I would love to try to do a demo with no demo fee. And for me, it was more like everything is complementary. My email signature is highly tied to my website, and my website is highly tied to who I am, and who I am, it's highly tied to my music. So everything is part of the same thing. When I send you an email, you will find my signature at the bottom of the email. Maybe I leave a link to my website in the body of the email. But if I don't, I want to have a signature that calls your attention. Engaging factor. You know, I said in the elevator pitch, I said keeping it engaging here, right? The elevator pitch, keeping it engaging. So engaging factor. Story, you know, I thought, okay, I need to do some type of story. We wanted to have lots of movement. You know, I wanted to be moving all the time. And that led me to think maybe moving so much helps me to make noises during the whole video. So that's how I came up with the whole remix idea, you know, making music out of the sounds that I was making during the reel. Which is, I don't know, for me, it was a very exciting and fun idea. And I was like, okay, I want to give this a try. So who is my target audience? Well, music houses that already make music in my genre and like working with upbeat, goofy, friendly people. I wanted to have that really clear, because it's like, what I'm going to make right now is really out there. It's really, you know, it's not for everyone. You know, like some people don't like it, might hate it, might be like, this guy is so weird. And great, that's perfect, because I don't want to work with those people either. You know, I want to work with people that resonate with me, people that align with my values, I would say, and all that. So yeah, I had that, you know, very clear. So I think this is one of the key things. Who are you talking to? We all know we are talking to music houses, but we are not talking to all music houses. You know, they are not all the same. Some of them do, you know, trailer music. Some of them do more like pop music. Some of them they do different things. And the personalities behind those are also all very different. So memorable punchline. I needed one of the ingredients. I wanted to be a memorable punchline. I was like, okay, what can we do here? And I was like, it has to be something weird and something silly. So I was like, let's actually do this. And I came up with, I make music that makes your neighbor's dog howl in harmony. So this should be present in multiple places. My signature, in my email, you know, my website, and in the video too. At the end of the day, it's like, you know, like a punch, like branding type of thing. And my goal, make new connections and doing something to cut through the noise and make them remember me. Because you might send your website to someone and they might like your music, but it might not be the good time. And if it's like a faceless website and they can't really see who you are and all that, you know, if your music was absolutely unique and amazing, they might be like, okay, let's contact this dude. You know, I really remember his music specifically, but I think they are not going to remember you because of your amazing music. They are going to remember, you know, for who you are. And, you know, like I want to be the dude, like that weird dude that sent the video, you know, like doing the car wash thing. Like, okay, I have to plan this. What am I going to do? So planning this, the first thing was like, okay, so this is about the website. So let's plan the website. I want the website to be simple, to be bright, to be fun. I want to have 3 sections: hero, about, and contact. And in the about section, I want a super short text, a friendly image, and say something about the reel to make them curious. Because I was like, imagine they go to the website, they scroll around, they find the about section, they read that little text in the about section. That's why it's important to be short. And then I say about the reel, I say something like, let's actually see it here. I say, so even if it's to say hi or how dumb my reel is, you know, so it's like, is it really so dumb, this reel? So you go up and you see this guy doing like, you know, all these things. And it's like, I need to click now. I need to watch it. I don't know. I was trying to put myself in their shoes, and I was like, I would be curious at least to watch. Call to action of the whole website is to watch the reel. I don't care about anything else. So the video, what about the video? So the video, it needs to be like I'm walking a friend through my music, my personality, my location, which is Valencia. I'm in Spain. And I will make noises in almost every scene so I can make a remix out of the noises that I make. And the video should be 2 minutes max, you know, so I have a little bit more context there now. I know that the video should be 2 minutes max. I don't want to make something longer than that because they don't have time, right? So 2 minutes, maybe if it's engaging enough, they, you know, hopefully they watch it. So what about the script? Okay, so this is where, the whole chunk of the work, I think, happens. I wanted to be very mindful with the time. As you can see, I have, I'm gonna play a guitar lick at the beginning of the video, and I want it to be 2 seconds. I didn't know exactly how the guitar lick was gonna sound. I didn't know anything at this point. I was just like trying to picture how the whole thing would be and see if it was realistic. Is it realistic to play a guitar lick in 2 seconds? Okay, let's grab the guitar and let's see how, what 2 seconds of music sound like, and if it's doable. Is it realistic to try to say, hello from Valencia, my name is Sam Dominici, I'm a music composer for film, TV, and advertisement. Is it realistic to say all that in 5 seconds? So I was recording myself in Ableton saying those words and see if it trying to measure the time. The stock footage location, which is like including all this stock footage that I grabbed from Pexels. The girls dancing, the working out dudes and girls, the skating people, and all these different stock footage. It was really easy to actually find those. And a tip for this is that Pexels, when you go there and you find a video that you like, most likely if you click on the profile of the person that did that video, they actually have collections, and the videos, they all match. So it's like you have different takes and different things from different videos, and they all match, and that is really, really cool. And I have actions, because that is really important in this video. The actions that I do in the video will be sounds in the remix. So, for example, here, I'm saying, let's see, action high pressure water thingy. I don't know how you say that in English, when you press the machine that. Then what about the music? By the way, in the script, before going to the music, I have the music snippet here that I'm like, okay, upbeat, pop, funky, quirky song, goofy party vibes. And then after doing the music snippet in the script of what I was imagining in my head that would happen, I was like, okay, let's outline a little bit more about the music. So I'm going to have 6 cues in total. The guitar lick, the upbeat, the urban trap, the organic chill rock, the remix with the noises, and the upbeat Latin funky type of thing. And here I said, that the guitar lick couldn't be longer than 2 seconds. So I had to come up, I opened Ableton, I put like a timing that made sense for me, to set the pace. I didn't want it to be super fast, so I set the pace at around this time, and I was like, dun, da, 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 da. And I was like, okay, that is kind of like 2 seconds. I'm gonna go with that. Then we have the upbeat cue and all that. Okay, so everything that I was planning here is like, I want to show a little bit of everything that I'm able to do here. And that's what I did with this part. So yeah, there you go. It's like briefing myself to make music, basically. What about the executing part? Because it gets, every step gets a little bit harder now. Now we are in the executing part. So I was like, what should I do first? Okay, so the first thing that I did is actually finding stock video. So I found all the stock video that matched the music that I was talking about before. And I said, all right, I think these videos would be good for, an upbeat, funky type of song. I think this would be good for sports type of urban type of thing. So I downloaded all those videos, which is, it's not just like one video that I downloaded per cue. I downloaded multiple videos, and I tried again for them to kind of like match the vibe. I didn't want them to be, super different one from the other. Talking about a single cue. So if I'm talking about the sports cue, the whole vibe was like very dark, and the lighting was in a certain way. I didn't want to do that and then have someone, running at the beach, because that wouldn't make sense for me. I don't know. I just wanted to keep that very branded, even though it's, stock footage. So after having that, I was like, okay, let's start making the music. So what I knew is that these things should be 10 seconds long. And it's like, how hard can that be? How long is this gonna take? Well, making those 6 cues in total, actually 5, before shooting the video, because the remix is something that is apart. So this is editing them, and I got a little bit lost while I was explaining that part for the timeline. So it took 1 week to do 5 cues. So that is not including the remix, because that would happen afterwards. All right, let's keep going. So this is the first cue, for example, and as you can see, it's a very messy session. I didn't really care about being organized here because I was like, this is for myself. It finishes there. Yeah. So it's 10 seconds. So I remember I did that very mindfully. I was like, I'm gonna just highlight 10 seconds. So I have exactly 10 seconds of music and not more, because if you start adding 1 second here, 1 second there, 1 second there, your video starts getting longer. So I wanted to be very, very intentional about making music that was these snippets that were, 10 seconds long. So I did that for a whole week. I came up with all these different cues. I had all my cues. So I was like, okay, the next step is to get into Premiere here. Again, this is a recreation because I couldn't find the original file. So this is what I did. I got footage, that I had, and I added the songs. So when we play this, right? So we have everything here. But in the middle of these parts, what I wanted to do is to build like a blueprint around it, because again, I want this video to be 2 minutes long. Is this realistic? At this point, I didn't know if it was realistic. So I was like, let's see if it's realistic. So I added, my voice. This is the original audio, by the way, what you're gonna hear. But this wasn't like this in the blueprint, in the real blueprint file. So it was my voice just saying the words that I was gonna say when I was shooting the videos, just to test again that my timing was good, and I was not gonna end up with a 5-minute video because I didn't know how long that was gonna be. So here we go. Hello from Valencia. My name is Dan Domenici. I'm a music composer for film, TV, and advertisement. Welcome to my Rio and my car. So again, that was the original audio, but it wasn't like that. It was mainly like that, like, a voice actor or something like that. And I did that through all the way. So at the end by the end of doing this, I was like, okay, this is indeed 2 minutes. This is doable. I was feeling very confident that, okay, this is nice, and then the remix part with the noises, how long is this gonna be? Again, and this is like, I believe this is again, like 10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds. Everything is 10 seconds. Like the snippets are 10 seconds here. And then I didn't want to speak for chunks longer than 5 seconds in one single scene. So if I had a scene where I was talking for 5 or more seconds, I would split that and jump to a different scene and a different angle, different position, just to keep the viewer, engaged. So yeah, after having this, I just had to go ahead, shoot the videos, and kind of puzzle all this and fill the gaps here with those parts, if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. So shooting day, I live, luckily I live in front of the car wash place. So, shooting wasn't done chronologically. Shooting was very everything happened in different moments of the day. And the tennis thing happened a different day during the weekend that we actually booked a place. And we went to record those things. And after we were done with the recording, we just stayed there to play tennis with my girlfriend, which is really fun. So yeah, again, there's not much to explain here. Location and the part of the text that I'm saying. Location and the part of the text that I'm saying in the video. Import footage to Premiere and sound effects. So when I imported the footage to Premiere, now I have the actual footage. What I wanted to do here is to add sound effects. So when I'm closing the door, for example, that is the actual noise that the car made, but it's an actual recording, professional recording from Splice of a car door closing. And also, I think there's a very, very soft kick down there. We cannot really hear it, I guess, but the low end and advertisement, it's right there. So I was like, I don't want to use this and then end up having, very, very bad sounds to work with. I know I could, find a workaround or whatever, but I was like, no, I want those sounds to be in the final remix. This is not the original sound from that place.
Around those neighborhoods.
I mean, it's the original sound, but layered with, I added white noise. I added like a buzzing type of saw wave, very low, thing like that. And you don't You can't tell when you watch it for the first time that those sounds are there. I actually did like a little wavetable thing, like dubstep type of thing. If you can hear it, that's like, that's the sound effects part. Then make the remix. Check the script here. I have here that my instruments are guitar, is a guitar, but I need to chop it up to make it more exciting. The car door is a kick. The tennis hit is a snare. The car wash is a hi-hat, white noise, and bass line. You know, it would work as everything. So I knew what my instruments were, kind of. And export and test, I was like, okay, I was so burned out by the end of all this that I was like, I have to wait now. And I have to get back to it in a couple of days and watch it and see if I like it. Then we're done with the video. And it's like, you know, huge milestone. Executing the website, we have the email signature, which these are like the ingredients I wanted to have in my email signature. And if your signature has something, you know, that is like there's some color here or something, it's inevitable. They are gonna see it. I don't know if they're gonna take action. That's not something we can control. But if you have a compelling signature, they will click that, I guess. So I was like, okay, perfect. I can make this using Google Docs with tables. I have a Google Workspace, which is like a paid Gmail account, basically. So I have my own domain, dam@damdominici.com. And this is my signature, which, and this is, you know, Google Docs. This is Google Drive. You can open a new document. And this is made using tables. So the way you would do this, if you go to insert table, you can say, you know, you can think, okay, how many rows, how many columns. So let's do it like this. I think, I don't even remember what I did. But the thing is that, you know, it's like, that looks horrible, you know, but yeah, you have your image, you know, your image can go here. Your text goes on the other side. The line, you can choose, that's the thing. You can choose, you know, the color of your line here, the width of your line, right there. So it's very simple. And then you can add like a little more text down there. So you add it just in one, and then this you merge it, and yeah, that's how you do it. And then I made sure I was using the same color that I use in the DAM for this thing here. And that's how I crafted my signature. After having your signature done, what you can do is to copy this, and you go to the settings in Gmail, and you just like go here and just paste it. And that's it. And I think it's a very, very good selling point to have a nice signature at the end of your email. Okay, so mockup. What's a mockup? Basically, a mockup is a blueprint of a website. I'm a web developer too, but what Tommy explains in the course using Elementor is the exact same thing that I did, because that's actually one of the tools that I use also for me, for my clients when I do web development, and it's Elementor. So here we are. You know, this might look really similar to when Tommy explains in his videos. But before even doing that, for me, it was really important to have a mockup, to have a blueprint. So I did this in Notion. I think it looks a little bit messy and it can be like, what is this? But if you think about it, you can think about rows and columns, right? So this is basically one row with two columns. And this is at the same time, you know, two more columns here to include the buttons. So when I see, when you see here that this is the title, I go here, this is the title, you know, the video part here, you know, and all that. Like, I'm not using a template from Elementor. I'm not using, I started from scratch because I was like, I don't want clutter. And website templates, sometimes they want to sell so much that they are so cluttered. And the problem is that they are slow. And at the end of the day, you end up putting way more time doing it that way than just, you know, starting from scratch. So here we have, you know, all this. With the text, I was like, I want to have the whole text that I'm going to have, so I have a perfect idea of how this is going to look like. So, okay, website build. What are the things about this? You know, okay, choose a fun and bold font for titles. Choose a readable font for the paragraphs. Made in WordPress with Elementor. You know, so all those things. Actually, one more thing that I knew already is that I was going to go with this yellow. And I was going to, you know, I knew. That's another thing that I see a lot with websites. As a developer, I'm talking as a developer, people making their own websites use a lot of different colors, and most of the time they don't match. So if you want to be safe, use black, white, and one more color. You know, I'm not a great designer, my girlfriend is. So I was lucky that I could show her, and she approved. She was like, yeah, this is good enough. I think she helped me with the font too. But yeah, you don't need to be a designer to come up with something simple like this. And I think that's the whole thing. So now I have like a, conclusion and final thoughts, results. What are the results here? Like, who did I send this to? Did it work? Did it not work? Okay, so the first thing to mention is that I did this in 2022 after finishing the course, the MMB course. And after that, life happened and I stopped doing, I've stopped thinking about pitching, and I stopped, I had too much developer work, and I started, like spreading myself too thin, doing a lot of things. And I kind of like left it alone. And I was like, okay, like I did all that work and I never even sent it to anyone. Not until a couple of weeks ago. So it's February 2024 right now. But a couple of weeks ago, I sent an email to Tommy and I was like, Tommy, this is my website. I would love to connect with you. And it's my love letter to Tommy. And I remember that Tommy talks about that in the course. And I was so inspired about the love letter. That's what I like about MBB, man. He is so poetic, and so passionate. And it makes you want to do things with that energy, being a craftsperson and all the things that we learned through this amazing course. So again, like for the 100th time, thank you, Tommy, for that. So the results, I sent this email to Tommy, just hoping to connect with him really, because I was like, I'm starting to do this, who would be better than Tommy to start, my email thing? I have an email tracker too that I use. It's called MailSuite. It used to be MailTrack, but if you look it up, it's MailSuite. This is a paid tool. I think there are free ones too, but this one works really well. It tells you when someone opens an email. It tells you when they click on a link. If you send a document, it tells you if they downloaded the document and all these types of things. So it's really, really useful. So, I sent the email, no notification from Tommy. And the day after that, I see Tommy C just read your email. And I was like, wow, like my heart was pumping. And I was like, this is so cool. And a couple of minutes later, he got back to me and he's like, like I'm very busy right now with doing some stuff. And I'm doing a project. I don't actually remember exactly what he said on that email, but he was like, I'm going to get back to you tomorrow. So I was like, oh, okay. And he got back to me, he promised and he actually fulfilled that promise. And he contacted me back and he said, this is amazing. I love your website. I think it's really cool. And, we kept talking a little bit and he was like, would you do a video explaining the whole thing? And that's when I realized, hey, this might be a cool website. Actually, it might have been a good idea that I had in it and, doing all of this. So I'm so happy and so excited for this that happened. So that was, one that I sent, and so open and response rate 100% success. Then we have Ben also. I don't know if you have seen that video, but Ben was invited. Ben Eisinger. I never know how to pronounce that last name. He has a music house and he's very cool. And I remember that guy and I was like, I need to send an email to this guy. So I sent him an email. I was very personal. I was talking about his band too. I was doing some research, and a little bit of everything. And he replied back to me and I was so surprised because he got back to me with a project. And I was like, wow. So success rate, 100%. He actually mentioned also, in that part of the email, he mentioned, hey, this is really cool. Like, I love the authentic way you used to introduce yourself. So I sent it to one more place, which is a very funny story. So I sent it to one place and they didn't reply. But it turns out that this place is working with a friend of mine. I have a friend that is a composer too, and he was working with this place. And my friend reaches out to me and he says, dude, they know you, these guys know you because of your video. And I was like, they didn't reply to me. And they were like, it doesn't matter. They actually told me that we can make, a collaboration together so you can get in. So I was like, perfect.
Victory.
Damn,
son.
So I got in that agency too, and we did a song for their catalog. It was not like an actual project for now, but we are there. So, you know, building those connections. But I didn't have more time to keep sending. I'm doing a lot of stuff right now, and I honestly didn't have the time. And I want to start pitching. I feel very excited and comfortable and confident to keep pitching my website right now. So hopefully I can get back and tell more about the results. Okay, so what about finding your own voice? I think that is very, very important, that you find your own voice. I think finding ways that you can be unique in your own way, that is the most important thing. So I would say find things of your personality that might resonate with other people. It can be things that you like. Let's say you are a fan of certain composer. I heard someone saying something really cool that caught my attention once in a video. And he was like, hello, my name is blah and blah. I'm a music composer. And what I do is I try not to copy John Williams every day. So that was really cool because it's like, okay, this dude loves John Williams. If you don't know who John Williams is, he's the composer for Harry Potter and Jurassic Park and stuff like that. So, you know, that guy was like, I was like, I want to watch this video because if he likes John Williams, I will probably like what he's talking about here. I don't think you need to do a video of yourself. Some people hate doing that and hate filming themselves and hate being in front of the camera, and they just don't want to do it. Well, you can do text. You know, you can do text. You can share images of yourself. Maybe you are this cool person with, you know, a huge studio with a lot of gear and stuff like that, but you're very shy. So you can show yourself in the studio, you know, doing some things and, you know, doing maybe a joke about how much of a, you know, gear slut you are or something like that. But I think you need to find that thing that resonates. And that's why in the idea phase here, I was talking about who is my target audience, you know. So what is your perfect, you know, when you're when you send emails, you don't know who is in the other side really, but you want to resonate with the people that are like goofy and like that. In my case, so yeah, I think that is really important for, you know, for ideas like that. I would say you can you know, plan the same layout and be like, okay, I would say like having a video as a reel. I think that makes things easier. And even if you want to do like a very simple thing that you can do to keep your video engaging is that it's clearing. If there's no story, let's say there's no story, right? Well, I would say at least do a little nice visualizer with a nice artwork of the song that is playing right now. And actually a little bar with, instead of the sound wave that everybody is used to see, maybe a little, you know, progress bar. And you can do like up next in the queue, you know, things like that. Like you don't have to do something that is crazy either. It's just like trying to think of ways. And if you can think it, you can do it for sure. Like today we have enough tools. You don't have to be, you know, a master in computer to do all these things. Some things might be harder, but if you can use, you know, a DAW to make music, come on. Like there's no way you can't use a video editor or something like that to come up with some idea. I want to say one more thing. So if you guys have any questions or if you want to say hi or whatever it is, I would love to connect with you. Feel free to shoot me an email. My email is dabdominici.com, and I would love to talk with you and to see your websites and all that. But yeah, I will be happy to see what you guys are up to. You know, I hope I can find some goofy people like me or something. Again, one more time, thank you, Tommy, for having me here. That was it. I think I covered everything that I could imagine. So I hope I didn't forget anything. We will talk soon, and until then, bye-bye.